Okay guys, it's Monday the 19th of March. I've just been triggered into a long position on the FTSE. Definitely counter trend on this one. We've came down, we've touched at one of my levels, 7068 almost exactly. And now the FTSE has been in a collapse today. Basically, we looked at a potential price squeeze coming into this morning. I'll take you over that when this trade completes one way or the other, but it broke down from the price squeeze and the markets have just been, or the FTSE has been in free fall. A lot of the other indexes have been also. So with this trade, I am counter trend, as I've mentioned. I'm still happy to get into the trade because it's lined up with the trading plan. It's one of the setups that I look for. This blue line, 7075 point, around about 0.39, so we're around about 7076. Want to be careful. If we see strong reactions here, I'm just going to come out of the trade. As I've mentioned, it's counter trend. I'm using what I call the cautious approach. We went over this a lot last year. Basically, I don't want to be held into a trade that comes up, shows me the rejection, and then comes down. The risk with counter trend, obviously, is you are going against the trend. So there's nothing to say that it's just going to spike up a little bit and then come down and take me out of the trade. However, it's lined up with everything I look for. And because it has done that, I'm happy to get into the setup. Really looking for, let's have a look, only about 6 points. Basically, if we can get back up to retest at this previous swing point, I'll just bite the market's hand off and take the profits. But yeah, let's see how we get on with this one. As I mentioned, counter trend. Watching to see if it comes up to test that 7075. If it doesn't reach that level, I'll just likely hold on to the trade. Let it bounce around a little bit, and if it comes down, it will take me out for a stop. Okay, so the market has pressed up and tested at this 7075 level now. I'm just watching to see how this candle reacts. I don't really want to see too much rejection coming into it. I just want to see it pressing up in a relatively strong move up toward this S3 level. If it starts to break down, I'm just going to come out of the trade. I don't want to, as I've mentioned, it's counter trend. I don't want to be stuck in a trade that's going against a very strong trend that is not giving me pretty strong reasons to remain in it. So I'm just watching at present. Okay, so the market is still bouncing around somewhat. What I'm really looking at is if we start to crash down below this 7070 level, I don't want to hold on to the trade. It's already starting to see the bears stepping in a little bit. It's not really pushed on as yet, and because we've had such a nice strong sweep down with a pretty clear previous swing, I'm still happy to hold on to this trade at present. Just as I mentioned, I want to be a little bit cautious. If we start crashing down below this level, I just want to take a smaller loss. It may still come down, test that 68 again, and then bounce, but I'm not prepared to hold on to it after such a strong bearish movement down on the FTSE. So let's see how we get on. I am still watching it, watching how the market is going to react at these levels. Okay guys, so I've came out of that trade for a loss. I think we lost about 4 points there on this one. As soon as it started to crash down like this, I just wasn't happy to hold on to it. I'll look to get back into it if I get another stronger setup. But certainly because we've had such a strong move down, I just wasn't happy to hold on to the trade. So let's have a look. So minus £237.80 on that particular setup. I wanted to be a little bit cautious because it was such a strong move down on the FTSE. You know, since basically ATM, we've just crashed all the way down. We were bouncing on a 7068 level, which is a good level of potential support and resistance. However, it just wasn't giving me the evidence to stay in that trade. So what we'll do is we'll look at the pattern on the higher time frame that I mentioned, and then that will be it for the live trade this week. Okay, so we are now on the daily time frame, and what we can see is that price squeeze that I was looking at coming into this morning. So the market had hit at resistance, then hit a resistance again. We then found support. found support again, and this market was dragging itself up. And this is what alerted me to the possibility that we were looking at some sort of a trend line. Then I seen the squeeze. If we started to break down below basically Friday's low price, so around about 7,126, market was then starting to turn a little bit more bearish. We then had another key level down at around about 7,105. Down below there, the FTSE was looking a lot more bearish. Now, if we do start to break down below 7,060 now, we've not really done it yet, but if we start to break down below there, and the FTSE is looking a lot more bearish, potentially all the way down toward 7,000 once again. Okay, so that's pretty much everything for today, guys. A losing trade today. You know, as a trader, unavoidable. You're always going to have losses. A good way to frame it in your mind is just to think about if you were running any other type of business. So if you're running I don't know, a restaurant or a store or whatever it is, you have to pay for your supplies, you have to pay your staff, you have to pay things like your rates, your electric bills. When you have a loss in trading, it's a good way just to look at it as though you're paying some of your bills. A lot of people can get sort of dragged in when they're making wins. They think that's their money. It's not. The losses are going to come, pull it back down, then you have to start again. You start building it back up. It goes slowly, it goes jagged like this. Just look at it as the drawdowns. Are you paying your fees to be a trader? Okay guys, as always, I hope that was helpful. I hope you're all having a great trading week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.